From your initial campaign to the follow-up all the way down to the bottom line. This is how successful marketers turn a losing campaign into a winning one for a successful online business. Starting with a $10 campaign budget and a lead capture page for a $47 product, you will lose money, but the successful marketer will set up a follow-up sequence for that same product and turn this initial losing campaign into a highly profitable one. I use this calculator in my business to calculate all the key metrics a marketer needs to know and identify where profit can be maximized throughout the sales funnel. It literally forecasts the future if there's profit potential. This is how it's done. Click download, it's free, use it in your business, and watch the video because I'll break all this down in detail.
Hi everyone, Alex with WebLabPro.com. To all you entrepreneurs out there, I want to share something with you that's sure to help. I'll show you a little secret that really makes all the difference if you want to be successful with an online business or an offline business for that matter. And I'll say this with high confidence. Over 90% of the times, businesses fail at making profits online because they're not doing this one thing correctly. Now bear with me just a little bit here because I want to get up to my office so I can show you this whole process in a lot more detail on the computer. Now, I'm not telling you what you should do. That's for you to decide. All I can do is show you what I do and what works for me. But first, let me begin by telling you that I myself have failed lots of times before I got things right. As a matter of fact, I still make lots of mistakes. And you know what? That's really okay because failure is part of the process of becoming successful. Failure is really practice and having a perfected outcome for whatever it is. Business, sports, life, love, friendships, you name it. Don't ever let failure stand in your way. All right, I'm gonna hop on the computer here so I can show you this presentation in a little more detail.
I'm also going to give you at the end 100% for free this tool that I use here to prove my point. Now this tool isn't just a thing for me to prove my point here in this video, but it's the actual tool that I use in my business to literally tell the future if a campaign has profit potential or not. You'll see this here in a little bit. Okay, I'm going to dive right into the content to save time and keep it interesting. So I'll move fast and won't explain everything in detail because then this video would last hours. And don't worry about that because I have all these details at my website. But first, let me set the stage so all this makes sense. I know you're smart enough to understand that making money online is just like in the real world, which at its root involves the trade of money for some kind of value. A visitor to your website will eventually have to give you money in exchange for some kind of value in order to create profit. Now you can imagine you have to have visitors before any sales can happen. There's two ways to get traffic. First, there's free traffic, which takes time to develop because you'd have to spend countless hours implementing search engine optimization tactics, which can take weeks, months, even years before seeing results. If you think about it, it's really not free traffic anyway because, as the saying goes, time is money, and how much time are you really spending on these SEO tactics? The second method is paid advertising. Paid advertising is great because you can see results literally overnight. But the problem with paid traffic is, well, it costs money. And if you're doing it like most other people trying to start a business online, you're probably doing it wrong and failing because you're spending money and not seeing results. Keep watching because what I'm about to show you here applies to almost any business, anything from your Shopify online e-commerce store to a membership website that you're starting. Even for my MLM network marketing people out there wanting to scale past the door-to-door sales team manager phase, expanding their downlines into new markets beyond just their friends and family. If you're selling anything online through webinars, shopping carts, sales pages, email marketing, whether it's a physical product, intellectual, or some kind of service that you offer, even if it's an actual brick and mortar business like a local restaurant, for example, this is how online marketing becomes successful. All right, let's look at the first step of this process because this is where most people fail. Here's what happens. Someone will buy traffic from Facebook, for example, at let's say a starting budget of $10 per day, and they'll send that traffic directly to their sales page in the hope of making a sale of whatever they're trying to sell. Let's say, for example, this is a $47 product, an ebook, for instance. For the sake of argument, we'll say that they created a fairly good engaging ad, which ends up settling at about 15 cents cost per click, which is not bad at all. Although you have to realize that While I'm using realistic numbers for these examples, they might be wildly different depending on niches. I, for example, have some ads running right now that have been continuously running without change for more than 8 months, ranging from 7 cents cost per click to over $1 cost per click in different industries, aviation, business, photography, to name some. It ultimately has to make sense profit-wise at the bottom line, and that's exactly what this spreadsheet is all about. Okay, so now 100% of that traffic that has clicked on the ad is seeing the sales page. However, this is where the problem starts happening. Because this is cold traffic, in other words, traffic that is not familiar with your brand, you will not have great sales conversion rates, meaning most people will just bounce and click away without buying. I'll say less than 0.25%, 0.20% for this example, barely any sales. Now, what's really nice about this spreadsheet is that the formulas are built right and all the way to the bottom line. So you just change the boxes with the shaded green color and then get the results. Okay, calculating all the way through, it comes up with a negative ROI, negative 37% for this, which means you're spending more money than you're making. It's a sinking ship. Even if you start tweaking things like price, improving your conversion rates, you really still won't end up with a substantial profit off of cold traffic. Let me just mention, please realize that this is math and these formulas result in ratios. So obviously you can't have 0.13 of a sale. You either have a sale or not. You just have to think on a bigger scale. For example, what if you're running this test campaign for 30 days? Then you're looking at a $300 budget, which comes up with 4 sales throughout that 30-day period. But regardless, you're still looking at the same negative return on investment, the ROI, making this a losing campaign. This is where most people fail and give up. They stop here because they've tried all this advertising, which really never results in substantial profits. They don't realize there's a whole other step that turns a losing campaign into a winning campaign. On the other hand, here's what a successful marketer will do. They will look at this losing campaign and say, wow, we almost made 0. That's great, because they know they can increase the ROI a whole lot by starting a follow-up campaign. And here's how. Instead of sending that traffic directly to that sales page, what you want to do is land them on a lead capture page designed to get the visitor's contact information so you can follow up with them. So you separate that sales page by sandwiching in a lead capture page, which let's say converts at 30%, meaning that from approximately the 67 people that have clicked on that ad, 20 of those people will opt in to your list. And now you send these first leads to that sales page because they're obviously interested in what you have to offer. You're going to try to make a sales pitch happen here to try to recover some of your advertising expense up front. But now you're getting even a worse return on investment, negative 81%. And that's okay, believe it or not. Really, your goal here initially is not to make big profits, but to break even. However, for now, I'm going to leave these conversion rates the same before to show you that it still works out in the end. I'll show you towards the end of this video how you boost up those upfront profits. The advantage you've got now is that you have 20 people that you can start building a relationship with by following up with an email series designed to introduce these new leads to your brand. So if we move down to the next section of the spreadsheet, the follow-up section, you'll see it's a little different than the initial campaign part because here it's all about the follow-up emails. That's why we don't have a budget and a cost per click, because emails practically cost next to nothing to send. But if you have an email service that charges a per 1,000 cent fee, for example, you can still factor that in here if you want to be super precise. Ultimately, what you have is approximately 11 visitors revisiting your sales page from the follow-up emails that were sent to those 20 people that were generated up above. This visitors from emails number is not just made up. There's a science and a formula behind this as well. And that's right here down below. This little section contains your 7 to 10 part email follow-up sequence, or however long you decide to make it for your campaign. The first column is the quantity of emails sent. You might notice that the emails sent is slightly lower than the total leads captured. And that's because you have some initial sales in the beginning. You want your sales software to automatically remove those leads that have become customers from the email series. If you think about it, it doesn't make sense to keep on asking someone to buy the thing they just bought. That's why these numbers decrease gradually. It accounts for that. Moving on now. From the emails that you've sent, you'll have a certain percent of the people actually receive and open those emails. And from how many people actually open them, there's a percent of that that actually click on the link that's in your email, which sends them back to your marketing message. That's how this number is figured out, the approximate 11 people revisiting your sales page. It's just how it works in email marketing. Some people will ignore your content. Some people will love it. It's all relative. If you're spamming and not providing value, people will see through that and your numbers will be horrible and you won't last long. If you're providing awesome, genuine content, you'll grow a profitable brand. Going back up here in the follow-up section, here's where the money starts coming in. Because you're providing value and building familiarity with your brand, the sales conversion rates for that product start increasing dramatically. Now it's all revenue with little cost and mostly profits. This is how it's done. That negative 81% losing ROI has turned into a more than 100% positive ROI, meaning that you're doubling your money. You spend $10 to make $20 back. Once this is achieved, really your job just becomes getting more traffic, increasing the daily budget. Going from $10 to $100 per day changes the annual bottom line from $4,000 to $40,000. Now that's a real income. And that's really how it works. Now the power of this spreadsheet is that it gives you insight where changes can be made to maximize profits. You're able to simulate different scenarios and see the results instantly. For example, incorporating a simple upsell for your product can have a major impact on profits. Selling an upgrade for that initial product turns this campaign into a 240% return on investment, $87,000 for the year now. Boosting the sales conversion rates by just a few fractions gets you close to 100,000. And adding 3 to 4% on the landing page conversion boosts it up to over 130,000. That's how it's done. The key is in building a relationship with your audience and always testing by making little changes throughout the sales funnel, perfecting your results. That's it. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, leave a comment, share it, and most importantly, click on the link and download this spreadsheet and apply it to your projects if you haven't done something like this before. I realize this video goes fast and some of you starting out might not know all these terms, but don't worry because I have another instructional video covering how to do all this with the spreadsheet in detail. All right, see you in the next video.